y'all, I'm Paula Deen. You know, down here in the South, we just love us a casserole. They're simple and they taste great. So today, I want to start my menu off by making a hot and steamy chicken salad casserole. And then I'm going to be going on to one of my favorites, a cheesy broccoli casserole that I think you're going to just love. And to go with these dishes, I'm making a crispy herb garlic bread that's just perfect for any casserole. And you don't think I'd forget about dessert, do you? No, because I'm going to be making a sweet and fruity cranberry pineapple salad. So get in the kitchen, y'all, because we're going casserole crazy today. Nothing like make-ahead casseroles. They save so much time, so much energy, and you can put so many different things in your casseroles that you can have like a one-pot meal, which is just great. So I'm going to show y'all one of my favorite recipes. It's called a hot chicken salad. All we're going to do is get some white meat that's been poached. You can bake it in the oven as long as you have skinless breast meat. And these have been poached. And I'm just going to cube these up into bite-sized pieces, just like this. And this is great to make ahead, put in the refrigerator, and then when you come home, throw it in the oven and you've got dinner ready. All right, now we've got our chicken diced up. I'm just going to throw it in the bowl. We're going to start with some mayonnaise because this is chicken salad and you can't make chicken salad without mayonnaise. If you're not a real big mayonnaise fan, you could use a yogurt. All right, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon juice, a half a cup of slivered almonds, and these are going to make this casserole have a crunch. And we've got a cup of diced celery. So you can see I'm putting this together very, very much like a cold chicken salad that you would eat. But since this is going in the oven and going to come out hot, I don't think we can have a hot chicken salad without maybe a cup of cheese. And I'm using a white sharp cheddar. And that's all we do to put this casserole together. All right, I'm gonna spray our pan or our bowl. We're just gonna toss it in there. Isn't that pretty? All right, now for America's favorite snack food, maybe besides ice cream. We're gonna top our casserole with potato chips. And I'm just gonna put these into a resealable plastic bag and give them a crunch. And finish it off with a rolling pin. So now you know this casserole's gonna be good. So we're gonna have the crunch from the chip. We're gonna have the crunch from the almonds. All right, so see how pretty this casserole is? So it's going into a preheated 350-degree oven. We're gonna bake it for about 20 minutes or until it's hot and bubbly. And because my family is such big eaters and the magic of TV, I've got another one ready in this other oven that we're gonna be able to pull out right now and taste. Ooh, that oven's hot. That looks looks so good. Can you see it bubbling, y'all? I can't wait for y'all to try this recipe. Like I said, this casserole doesn't need a whole bunch, but I think I'm just gonna put a few tomatoes. This will make just a nice light dish. It smells out of this world, and this is one of those dishes even the children will like. But that you just can't get any better than that. Mmm. You're not gonna believe what those potato chips do to that casserole, y'all. And when we come back, we're gonna keep rolling on with more casseroles. I've got my broccoli casserole recipe I wanna share with y'all, and a wonderful sourdough garlic herb bread. It's gonna go perfect with your casseroles. So I'll see y'all back in a minute. You know, I don't know of anybody that doesn't just love a good bread. And this bread is good on its own, but we're fixing to make it even better. And I'm just gonna put it on our baking sheet. And when you bring this to the table, you're gonna find that people just snatch and grab, and it's gonna be gone because it's good bread made even better. All right, so on this baking dish, we have very good bread. Now we're fixing to make it better. I'm gonna start by brushing it with an extra virgin olive oil, and this is gonna make it nice and crisp. And it's gonna also cause our herbs to stick to it. Now you can use any kind of bread. This is sourdough bread. All right, we've got those brushed. And now I'm gonna sprinkle them with just a little garlic salt. It's gonna give it a nice, nice little kick. All right. Next up, we're gonna put some herbs on it. And I'm gonna use equal parts of each. And I'm gonna start with a chive, a dried chive, and dried parsley, an equal part of dried chervil, and then an equal part of dried tarragon. And I'm just gonna mix those together. The smell is very, very strong. Okay, so we're just gonna sprinkle our bread with our herbs. So we've taken what a few minutes ago was just an ordinary bread, and we've turned it into an extraordinary bread. So I've got our oven preheated to 350 degrees. All right, so we're putting this in the oven for 10 minutes. And that's about how long it's gonna take for me to put our broccoli casserole together. I'm starting with 2 10-ounce boxes of frozen chopped broccoli. I've thrown it into the microwave, I've heated it up, thawed it out, and drained it. And like a lot of casseroles down south, this one starts out with mayonnaise. So we're gonna add a cup of mayonnaise. Oh, and Gertie loves mayonnaise too, don't you? All right, and then we're gonna add some cream of mushroom soup. And then I'm gonna add some cheese. The beauty of this is you can make it ahead of time, and then it's ready for us to just bowl up and stick in the oven and bake. But before we do that, I'm gonna beat up a couple of eggs and throw it over into our casserole dish. This is gonna make the casserole kind of puff up and kind of set up when it bakes. And that's it. If you would like, you could add some salt and pepper or our house seasoning, all those good flavors. All right. What we're going to do is just start by crushing up our crackers. You know, sometimes I doubt the recipes that I select to do on my show because I think, well, maybe they're too simple, too honest. So I'm always thrilled to know that y'all too love the basic honest food, and I'm not embarrassed by this dish, and it's delicious, and I think you're going to love it too. But I do want to show you a quick trick about buttering your crackers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some melted butter, and I'm just going to pour it in the bag, and I'm going to do it like this. So everybody in there gets some butter. And that's much, much easier than standing up there trying to drizzle it evenly. The thing I love about this casserole is I can make it ahead of time. And of course, you put it in the refrigerator and the flavors have a chance to marry and they just make them taste better. But we're not going to do that today. We're not going to let them marry and have fun. We're just going to put them straight in the oven. I'm going to put this in a preheated 350-degree oven. I'm going to let it bake for about 30 minutes. And then let's come over here and check on our herb bread. It's been about 10 minutes. Now I'm just going to come over here with it. Doesn't this bread look good? It's going to go great with everything that I'm serving today. I love a good bread. There's nothing better. Well, y'all come over to the refrigerator with me because I want to show you something. It's a dish that I get teased about all the time by Jamie and Bobby and my niece Kari. This is a cranberry pineapple jiggly salad. You're going to love this salad. So y'all don't go anywhere because I'm going to show you how to do this in just a couple of minutes. Our casserole's ready. Ooh, and the smell of broccoli is just really, really strong. Oh, and it's hot and just bubbling. You know, it just wouldn't be Thanksgiving without this casserole on the table. And it's so easy to make. So good. All right, next up, I think you're going to love this one. This one's a great holiday salad. I'm going to start with 2 small 3-ounce packages of a raspberry gelatin. And then I'm going to add, to make sure this holds together real good, I'm going to add about a half an envelope of plain gelatin. All right, now I'm going to take a cup of boiling water. And pour that over in our gelatin. And I'm just going to stir this up until it dissolves, which only takes a minute. Now to this, I'm going to add a half a cup of cold water. I'm going to add 1 8-ounce package of crushed pineapple along with its juice. It's going to give it a nice pineapple-y flavor. All right, and to this, I'm going to add 1 can of whole berry cranberry sauce. Now, this is not the jellied type that you slice. You can see it's whole berries. So we're just going to dump that in there. And then we're going to add some chopped walnuts. And this is about 1/4 cup. All right, so that's all we have to do to that. All right, I don't have a pretty mold, but that's not a problem. I'm just going to take a brown bowl and I'm just going to pour it into our greased bowl and put this in the refrigerator until it's nice and set. So in it goes. And out comes another one. All right. There's so many different angles that you can go with your gelatin salad, and I'm going to show you mine. Surprise center. All right, now I'm going to start with an 8-ounce package of cream cheese. And I'm going to sweeten it up a little bit by adding a little powdered sugar to it. All right, now I'm going to add a couple of dollops of sweetened whipped cream. Just enough to kind of smooth out that cream cheese. Next, I'm just going to fold in some nuts. There, and we've got our little surprise center ready. All right, I'm going to take our Jiggly salad over here. I'm just going to run the knife around it, and then I'm going to just dunk it into a bowl of warm water. And I'm going to take my bowl, center it up, flip it over, now I'm going to take a juice can that I've cut both ends out of, and I'm going to come in here. So if you don't want to have to worry about struggling with that, you can bring your salad out a little earlier than I did. All right, now I'm just going to slip that out. All right, and you can see how pretty that is. I've made a center. It's almost like I've molded this in a bundt pan. So now I'm just going to take my cream cheese and I'm going to fill up that hole with the cream cheese. And I have to tell you, there's just nothing better than cream cheese and cranberries. So this is a couple of different ways that you can serve your salad. And I'm sure you probably have some wonderful ideas of your own. But I have to say this is one of my favorites because, like I said, when I slice it, I'm going to get me some wonderful, wonderful cream cheese with it. See, this is what it'll look like when we slice it. One of my favorite flavor combinations. When we come back, I've got some tips for you for putting together casseroles with leftover ingredients. So you're going to love these tips, so y'all don't go anywhere, and I'll see you back in a minute. Let's talk about leftovers for a minute. You know, you can use as little as 5 ingredients to put together a fresh new casserole. Any vegetable left over from the night before, and say you've got some luncheon meat from the deli. If you've got mayonnaise in your pantry and you've got soup, you can whip together a quick and easy casserole with most all leftovers. And the toppings, you can go anywhere from a breadcrumb to onion rings, to potato chips, to Parmesan cheese, to crushed croutons, to cracker crumbs. As long as you've got just a couple of main ingredients in your pantry, like we all do, you can put together, redress, and have a fabulous meal in minutes. And the hubby's gonna love it when you walk out the door and say, "Oh honey, I'm going to a movie with the girls. Dinner's in the fridge." He's gonna love it. You know, casseroles are kind of like mother-in-laws. They kind of get a bad rap sometimes. But casseroles, just like mother-in-laws, when you got a good one, they're worth their weight in gold. They're like jewels. And I think that's the way you're going to feel about these casseroles that I have for you today. The broccoli casserole is rich in flavor, and the hot chicken salad is yummy, and the raspberry pineapple jiggly salad is so good. And the garlic herb bread is delicious with anything that you want to serve. Make sure you try them, because if you're anything like me, I think that you're going to like the flavors and the ease that these dishes are going to bring to your house. So until next time, America, I send y'all love and best dishes, casserole dishes, from my kitchen to yours.